Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Vincent Happy Munisi again. I'm now going to introduce you to my second book, which is The United Countries of Africa Now. This was what we call, I revised This Africa Must Unite to the United Countries of Africa Now because I'd given a copy to some English guys when I first wrote it in 2010, and they told me this one sounded racist. So I kind of like thought, let me tone it down and make it the United Countries of Africa, and just to make it more what you call appealable to all races. But they're similar in terms of what you call what the content. Most of the content is very similar, but this is more. I more what you call revised. I actually I went and I got more what we call this one here is African Petition. The chapters, the prologue, African Petition, Pan-Africanism, Introduction, and then the as in this book first was the A to Z of African royal past and present, and A to Z of African events up to 2010, and A to Z of African leaders, and fourth, the United Countries of Africa Now. I actually thought this would be more what you call suitable for children, and you know what I mean. It would actually keep them abreast on African history, current affairs, up to 2010, because I wrote these books in 2010. So this was my first one, 2010, and then this one here, 2011. I wrote this after a year in what we call first 2010, and then this one 2011. Well, let me. There's one person I've always wanted to actually what you call check. I want to read about some South African leaders that what we call have taken over as presidents. Okay, Jacob Zuma. He was born in Zululand. He received no formal education. He's been engaged in politics at an early age. Joined the ANC in 1959. He became an active member of Umkhonto we Sizwe in 1962. Following the banning of the ANC in 1961, he joined the South African Communist Party, SACP, in 1963. He was arrested with a group of 45 recruits near Zeerust in the Western Transvaal. He was convicted of conspiring to overthrow the apartheid government. He was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment, in which he served in Robben Island with Nelson Mandela and other notable ANC leaders. After released, he was instrumental in the re-establishment of the ANC underground structures in Natal province. He left South Africa in 1975 and met Thabo Mbeki in Swaziland, and then proceeded to Mozambique, where he dealt with the arrivals of thousands of exiles in the wake of the Soweto uprising. He became a member of the ANC National Executive Committee in 1977. He also served as Deputy Chief Representative of the ANC in Mozambique, a post he occupied until the signing of the Nkomati Accord between the Mozambican and apartheid South African government in 1984. He was appointed Chief Representative of the ANC. He also served on the ANC Political and Military Council. He was elected to the SACP Politburo in April 1989. In January 1987, Zuma was again forced to leave country, this time Mozambique. He moved to the ANC head office in Lusaka, Zambia, where he was appointed head of underground structures, and shortly thereafter chief of the intelligence department. His tenure then remains the subject of considerable controversy. Following the unbanning of the ANC in February 1990, he was one of the first ANC leaders to return to South Africa to begin the process of negotiations. In 1990, he was elected the chairperson of the ANC for Southern Natal region, and took a leading role in fighting political violence in the region between the members of the Inkatha Freedom Party and the ANC. He was elected Deputy Secretary General of the ANC in January 1994. He was nominated as the ANC candidate for premiership of KwaZulu-Natal after the 1994 general elections, with the ANC becoming the governing party by having lost KwaZulu-Natal to the IFP. He was appointed as a member of the Executive Committee, MEC, of the Economic Affairs and Tourism for KwaZulu-Natal Province Government. after stepping aside to allow Thabo Mbeki to run unopposed for deputy presidency. In 1994, he was elected national chairperson of the ANC and chairperson of the ANC KwaZulu-Natal. He was elected deputy president of the ANC of the National Congress held in 1997 and consequently executive deputy president of South Africa in June 1999. During this time, he worked in Kampala, Uganda as a facilitator for the Burundi peace process along with Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni. On June 14, 2005, he was expelled from his deputy president due to the corruption and fraud related to the 5 billion weapons acquisition deal by the South African government in 1999. In terms of party tradition, as deputy president of the ANC, Zuma was already in line to succeed Mbeki. The party structures held their nominations conference in October and November 2007 when Zuma appeared favorite for the post of ANC president. By implication, the president of South Africa in 2009. Zuma was elected president of the ANC on the 18th of December 2007 with 2,329 votes, beating the second term in South African Thabo Mbeki with 1,505 votes. Ooh. On September 28th of December 2007, the National Prosecuting Authority served Zuma with an indictment to stand trial in the High Court on various counts of racketeering, money laundering, corruption, and fraud. Oh. In September 2008, the ANC ruled Thabo Mbeki unfit to rule the country, then ending his parliamentary support and forced him to resign from the country's presidency. He was announced by the deputy president Tlhakane Motlale, who became caretaker president until 2009. General elections, after which Zuma became president and won the elections on the 6th of May 2009 and was sworn in as president of South Africa on the 9th of May 2009. Oh, what a controversial, I must say. Okay, how about Cyril Ramaphosa? He's the current South African president. Cyril Ramaphosa is born 1952, South African trade unionist, politician, and